The 2022 war between Russia and Ukraine marked a significant and devastating escalation of an ongoing conflict that began in 2014. Here's an overview of the key events, causes, and impacts of the 2022 invasion. Tensions before 2022. The conflict traces back to 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea and supported separatist movements in eastern Ukraine, Donbass region. The ensuing war led to thousands of deaths and a frozen conflict, with periodic flare-ups. Military buildup. Throughout 2021 and early 2022, Russia amassed a large number of troops and military equipment along its border with Ukraine and in Belarus, raising alarms internationally about a potential invasion. February 24, 2022. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a special military operation in Ukraine, leading to a full-scale invasion. The stated goals were the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine, claims widely dismissed by the international community as baseless pretexts for aggression. Initial attacks. Russian forces launched attacks from multiple directions, targeting major cities including Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Mariupol. This involved airstrikes, missile attacks, and ground assaults. Key battles. Kyiv. The capital faced significant threats with Russian forces advancing towards it from the north. Ukrainian resistance was fierce, and despite initial advances, Russian forces failed to capture Kyiv. Kharkiv. Ukraine's second-largest city faced heavy bombardment and urban warfare. The city remained under Ukrainian control despite severe destruction. Mariupol. This strategically important port city endured one of the war's most brutal sieges. It eventually fell to Russian forces after months of relentless attacks, causing extensive civilian casualties and destruction. Sanctions and diplomatic efforts. The invasion triggered unprecedented economic sanctions on Russia by the United States, European Union, and other Western allies. Sanctions targeted Russian banks, industries, and individuals, aiming to cripple Russia's economy. Diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict through negotiations continued but were largely unsuccessful due to deep mistrust and uncompromising positions. Military aid to Ukraine. Western countries, led by the U.S., provided substantial military aid to Ukraine, including advanced weaponry, intelligence, and training. This support played a crucial role in bolstering Ukrainian defenses and counteroffensive capabilities. Refugees and displacement. The invasion led to a massive humanitarian crisis. Millions of Ukrainians fled their homes, resulting in the largest refugee crisis in Europe since World War II. Neighboring countries, particularly Poland, received a significant number of refugees. Within Ukraine, many cities faced severe shortages of food, water, and medical supplies due to continuous shelling and blockades. Civilian casualties. The war caused a high number of civilian casualties. Attacks on civilian infrastructure, including hospitals, schools, and residential areas, were reported, leading to accusations of war crimes against Russian forces. Resistance and counteroffensives. Ukrainian forces mounted strong resistance and launched successful counteroffensives, particularly in the north and northeast. They managed to recapture significant territories initially lost to Russian advances. The conflict remained fluid, with ongoing battles in eastern and southern Ukraine, particularly in the Donbass and around cities like Kherson and Zaporizhia. Economic and global impact. The war significantly disrupted global markets, especially energy and grain supplies, as both Ukraine and Russia are major exporters. This exacerbated global inflation and food shortages in various regions. The 2022 invasion of Ukraine by Russia marked a significant escalation of the conflict, leading to widespread devastation, a major humanitarian crisis, and significant geopolitical ramifications. The war has been characterized by fierce Ukrainian resistance, extensive international support for Ukraine, and severe economic sanctions against Russia. The situation remains dynamic, with continued fighting and efforts for a diplomatic resolution ongoing.